I'm Railteen and Phelim. I'm Noah and Abby. Grandma back again. I thought I'd read you a story because tomorrow is Patrick's Day. And I hope you're going to have some nice things to do on Patrick's Day, even though there won't be any parades this year. And I'm sorry that we won't be seeing you, but you still got your mummies and daddies, so that's all that matters. You see this book here? Do you know who these people are here? Well, they're called leprechauns. And in Ireland, people tell stories that there are these little men. And they're kind of magic little men, but they're also mischievous and they play tricks on everybody. And people believe that when you see a rainbow, that at the end of every rainbow, there is a big pot of gold that would make you very rich if you could find it. So this story is about that. So do you think you'd like to listen to it? Let's go. The 3 leprechauns sat under the chestnut tree. Art looked up at the cloud-filled sky. "It's coming," he said, "and there's work to be done." There's the chestnut tree and the cloud-filled sky. And Art is the name of one of the leprechauns. I wonder what their other names are. Oh, Boo and Call put on their red shoes and their caps and strapped their packs to their backs. There's their red shoes. When I was a little girl once, I had a pair of shiny red shoes with a silver buckle, and they were my favorite shoes, and they still are my favorite shoes ever. "We're ready," Boo said. "But why is it always us that has to put the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow?" "Especially since not a single soul ever finds it," Call added. Art looked from one to the other. "Don't be asking," he said. "It's a leprechaun duty, so it is. And fellows, remember, it's coming, so there'll be no time for mischief along the way." They walked in line, the one in front of the other one behind. No mischief along the way," they chanted. "No mischief, no mischief, no mischief along the way." There they are. Let's turn the page. Ooh, who's on this page? We found a cow in the field. They're looking over the stone wall. Look, isn't that a very clever wall? It's just made out of all the rocks that were in the field. And they cleared the field and they piled them up and made a wall. But when they got to Ballybunion Farm, they saw Mrs. Ballybunion's cow, Pansy, standing in the field. Art whipped out the little bottle of red paint he kept in his backpack for leprechaun business. He ran across to Pansy. "Stand still, my lovely," he told her, and he painted her hooves scarlet red. He wanted to give her red shoes as well. Pansy looked down. "Pretty," she said. "I imagine Mrs. Ballybunion's face when she comes to milk you," Art shouted. He and Boo and Call rolled over and over in the grass, laughing. What are they laughing at? They're laughing at their mischief. Do you want to see a cow with red hooves? She think I've been to a dance. Pansy did a couple of small hop and steps to demonstrate. The leprechauns clapped and whistled. We'd be delighted to join you in a waltz or two, Art exclaimed. But we're in a desperate hurry. I thought there was to be no mischief along the way, Boo reminded him. But they couldn't resist, could they? Oh, sure, but I couldn't help myself. Mischief's what leprechauns do, Art said, along with our more important duties. He glanced up at the tatters of clouds in the sky. And we'd better not delay, for we've delayed enough already. But as they were passing old Jamie Bradley's house, they saw Jamie's grey woolen long johns spread out to dry on his hawthorn hedge. Do you know what his long johns are? There's underpants but they're long, that sometimes old men wear in the winter time to keep them warm out in the damp cold fields. And you see the black thunder, the black clouds? There might be thunder, but there'll definitely be rain soon. And here they are with their red shoes. And do you think they're going to just walk by and leave these long johns? Don't think so, because they're mischief makers. The leprechauns looked at each other and grinned. Quick as a cat bounce, they ran across to the hedge and stood one on top of the other and the other on top of him. Art reached up and tied the two long John's legs together in a tight knot. They almost fell off each other. They laughed so hard. It would be great altogether to stay and watch old Jamie trying to put his legs into those, Boo said. But it will be a month of Sundays before they're dry, and we've no time to waste. Yeah, to see the way they stood one on top of the other so they could reach. Oh, they're very naughty. They took a few minutes to somersault across Liam McGabe's garden. There was a yellow tennis ball in the middle of the road, and they rolled it along with them as they went. Miss Maud Murphy's hen, Bridie, clucked at them from behind her gate. Bridie, Art said, would you be doing us a favour? Could we trundle this ball up to your nest, and could you sit on it for us? It'll be the great joke on Miss Maud Murphy when she comes out to gather your eggs. Do you want to see the hen? She's inside that white picket gate. And she's got a nest. And look, they're going to pretend that the tennis ball is an egg, because the farmer's wife comes out to collect the eggs. Bridie put her head on one side. Cluck, cluck. It's not going to be easy sitting on that. But the three of you were so good to me scaring Fox away from my hen house last night. I'll do it. Call stretched up and patted her wing. Thank you, Bridie. They squeezed themselves through the gate and tumbled the ball with them. Then they heaved it up and into Bridie's nest. She gave a trial sit on it. There it is. You see it? Hope they didn't hit her with that tennis ball. I'll be sore underneath myself for a week, she grumbled. But the thought of Miss Maud Murphy's face when she sees I've laid a yellow ball will be worth it. Won't that beat all? Carl gasped. The three of you can't help making mischief, can you? Bridie asked. That's what leprechauns do, Art told her, along with their more important duties. He stopped. Is that a spitting of wet I feel? 'Tis. Boo stared up at the sky, where the sun was flickering through heavy clouds. A thin, cool rain had started to fall. Hurry, hurry, Art ordered. It's come. We can't be late. They pulled their green slickers from their backpacks and settled their caps low to their ears. Anybody seeing them racing along the road would have taken them for 3 green leaves, but they were leprechauns and they had work to do. Get them out, boyos. Get them ready, Art said. They took their little spades from their backpacks. Then they stopped for a minute to look up at the rainbow, blue and green and yellow and pink, that was arched across half the sky. Blue and green and yellow and pink, purple and orange and... What's the last one? There it is, Art said with satisfaction. Come on. There, it's a nice rainbow, isn't it? They dashed across Paddywhacker's bog, found a place there where they kept the pot of gold buried for just such a rainbow occasion, and dug it up. Art stood in the middle of the bog. Here, he said. The 3 of them placed the pot of glittering gold in just the right spot and watched the rainbow curve itself all the way down till it ended on top of the pot. Oh, wow, that's brilliant, isn't it? I wonder will anybody find it. The leprechauns settled themselves to wait. They tootled some grass stalk music, threw raindrops at each other, and ate the rose hips they'd brought for snacks. They waited long, but nobody came. Once again, nobody came. You'd think somebody would find it, Col complained. Somebody will some day, Art said. Maybe we should put up a sign, Boo suggested. Pot of gold, this way. No, Art said. That's not how it's done. There's a bit of magic in the finding and a bit of luck. And a bit of imagination, too. That goal's waiting for just the right person. They buried the pot again in its usual place. Art patted the smoothed down bog dirt. Don't worry, Pot, he whispered. We'll be back to get you on the next rainbow day. Now we're off again to see what new mischief we can find, for besides our important duties, that's what leprechauns do. I left out a page. I'll go back. The rain had stopped. The sun went behind a cloud. The rainbow shortened itself, then disappeared. No use waiting any longer. Col took off his cap and wrung the wet out of it. If we hurried, we could be in time to see Miss Maud Murphy discover Bridie's big yellow egg, he said. Boo laughed. Won't that be a great thing to see? All right then, Art said. We'll put a rush on this. And so they bury the pot of gold again, and they wait until the next rainbow day comes. And then, look, this is Miss Maud Murphy. Look at the look on her face when she found the tennis ball instead of the egg. That gave them the greatest laugh ever. So funny. That's it. That's the end of that story. Was it a good story? Do you like to do mischievous things sometimes? Do you like to play tricks on Mummy and Daddy or on your friends? So long as you don't be unkind, that's okay. And you don't. Look, I wonder who's looking out the window. That's Miss Murphy's son or daughter. So, they have a cat as well. Can you see the cat? Big white cat. I like white cats. I call him Bonnie. So, Happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you get some treats. And I'll be back. And one day we'll see you again. Be good, be kind, be happy. Bye-bye.